Hi, my name is Jennifer, and I started hashtag takedown Julien Blanc. And how this all started was on a Saturday night. As usual, I was going through Tumblr. I follow a lot of social justice blogs and other random shit. And I stumbled across this video, which is in Japanese, and it's disgusting. It's about this white guy hitting on, if you can even call it that, Asian woman. It shows him forcing random Japanese women's heads into his crotch and saying Pikachu, Pikachu all the time. And later on in the video, you see him in a seminar classroom full of men telling them how to do this and how they can get away with it. And you can hear the guys giggling at his very racist jokes on how all you have to do is to say Tamagotchi, Pokemon, Pikachu to dispel the tensions. So each second that I watched this was more horrifying than next. And then after I watched it, I was just so fucking pissed off.
Hi guys. So I wanted to talk about this guy, Julien Blanc. He was a very popular, a very famous pickup artist in in 2000, early 2000 teens, 2010, 2000 to 2015. He was very popular. He was giving class to men on how to pick up women. He was charging like $600, $700 a head. So he was very popular. And he went from being very popular to almost losing it all uh, because of this woman. Her name is Jennifer Lee. So what happened is Julien Blanc, he teaches American men, Western men, how to pick up women. Most of it is just how to manipulate women into having sex with you and how to emotionally manipulate women into having sex with you, and it was a lot of manipulative stuff. Then he also teaches Western men how to get women in Asia. So one time, he posted a video of himself basically sexually assaulting Japanese women. He would walk up to them, grab them, and then he had a class where he told a room full of white guys.
At least in Tokyo, if you're a white male, you can do what you want. Romping through the streets, just like grabbing girls.
That white men can do whatever they want is Asian women, especially Japanese women. He said, you could just grab a woman and shove her head into your crotch. All you have to do is scream Pikachu or Pokemon and everything is okay. So he posted, that he was so proud of, I guess he was proud of what he said in that class. He posted it online. And it didn't get any bad reaction, probably, who are the people that are more likely to watch that? Why other white people, white women, white men, and there was no reaction. Probably Japanese people didn't see it, but this girl, Jennifer Lee, saw it, and Jennifer Lee is a Japanese American, and she was outraged. She went on Twitter and started this hashtag, take down Julien Blanc, and the hashtag was trending for like a whole day. Like I think it's like 2 days straight. It became like the number one trending topic, and people started change.org petition to take down Julien. And at that time, Julien was in Australia to give conference, to give his pickup artistry conference. And he had, a venue that was going to host him, but the venue canceled, and then he got another one. The other one canceled too. So it got to the point that the venue would agree to host him, but when they find out who he is, they cancel. So to the point that it became comical, because you would read that this venue is going to host Julien Blanc, and women would contact them and saying that Julien Blanc is a misogynist, a violent man who advocates for sexual abuse of women. So are you going to hope, we hope that you will not host them, and the venue would canceled. So many venues canceled that Julien Blanc was forced to hold his conference at some boat, or I remember, because I was following that the whole thing very closely. So he held his conference at a boat or at a small yacht or something. He was he couldn't find a suitable place to hold his conference. But it was not just the Australian conference. The rest of his conference everywhere, in America, which is where he made most of his money, people were canceling. Venues were canceling. People, organizations started distancing themselves from him. He worked for his company. It was some company called RDS, and they are like pickup artistry. They teach men how to pick up or something. That company was in a lot of trouble. They got so much bad press. They changed their whole business model. They stopped teaching men the manipulative stuff that they used to teach men to do. They stopped. They changed everything. And Julien Blanc became so radioactive that he was not, people started distancing themselves. Pickup artists started distancing themselves from him. And right now, I think his popularity nosedived. He's no longer doing pickup artistry or whatever. He is now like a mental health advocate or something. He has reinvented himself into something else. He is no more a pickup artist. He tries to denounce that group as much as he can. He's trying to distance himself from it. So, but why am I bringing that up and trying to relate it to the passport bros? The reason I am bringing it up is I want you guys to know who brought down Julien Blanc. It was not the Asian women he was harassing in Asia. It was not the Japanese women. It was not the Japanese feminists in Japan. The one that brought him down was a Japanese American, an Asian woman living in America. She is the one who brought him down. And so what I'm trying to, how I'm trying to relate it to, the situations with the passport bros is that what you are doing in Africa may not be, you may not be getting pushback from African women in Africa, just like Julien was not getting a pushback from Asian women in Asia. But even though you're not getting a pushback from African women in Africa, you will get a pushback from African immigrant women here in America, African immigrant women like me. And you might get in the same trouble that Julien Blanc got. And I don't think anyone wants to be in Julien Blanc's shoes, because he almost lost everything. He went from being the most popular person in pickup artistry to someone that all the pickup artists want to distance themselves from. So remember, Africans are not just in Africa. They are everywhere. maybe the Africans in Africa, the ones, the feminists in Africa, they do not have the platform, and they don't have the societal support, to push back on the sexism of the passport bros. But Africans like me who live in America, we live in a liberal society, so when we are pushing back against the sexism of the passport bros, we don't get shunned, by the society. And of course, I probably have more access to, to platforms to speak out against what the passport bros do in Africa than a feminist in Africa, an African feminist in Africa would. So I would like the passport bros to consider that, you might not get pushback from Africans in Africa, but you will get pushback from Africans living in the West. And I think, I am not as, I probably will not be as vocal as I was before, because I see, some people are too sensitive and I don't want to, to damage anyone's mental health. But there will be others in the West who will push back. And my advice for passport bros is, remember, you are not just being watched by Africans in Africa, you are also being watched by Africans in the West. And we have Africans in Africa are our brothers and sisters, and in literal terms, like my brothers and sisters live in Ethiopia, so they are literally my brothers and sisters. So we watch you, and when we think that you are abusing, you are our brothers and sisters. When we think that you are, exploiting our sisters, we will speak up. And so I just want you guys to, to do whatever you are doing in Africa with the knowledge that you are not just being watched by Africans in Africa, but also by Africans in the West. So let me know what you think, and comment, like, subscribe. Thank you. Bye bye.
And after I watched it, I was just so fucking pissed off. I was like, if this guy ever touches me and puts my head down on his dick like that and yells Pikachu at me, I would fucking whip out a taser and go Pikachu on his motherfucking dick.